Oh my fucking god, the timing of that is just ridiculous.
Luke, can you shut up?
Like, I literally just hit record, and like, I hear your friend going.
That's not my friend. That's my little brother.
Oh, I don't know. Well, I don't fucking know what's going on.
Rangers fan who was a Devils fan.
This shit is recording right now.
We can cut it out.
Well, this is hockey related.
Yeah. So,
my brother was a Devils fan. We moved to New York. Rangers fan. Now he's a triple fan of Colorado, Rangers, and Devils.
Oh my god, don't be pulling a Ryan here. Alright?
He was the original Ryan.
That's like worse than Ryan, Beast. He likes two rival teams.
I know.
You can't just like...
Breaking so many rules.
Yeah, I'm a rule breaker.
Anyway.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I could fucking edit this shit out. I could have hit record like a long time ago. Just fucking let us talk about whatever, and then I'll just like fucking right after it, I'll just cut it.
All right, start now.
Yeah, editing is a bitch.
Oh, it is, but I know that I'm gonna have to cut out a minute and a half at least.
Oh.
All right,
come on, start now.
Wait a sec. Let's prepare. Where do you guys want to start? Which series do you guys want to start?
Pens, Rags.
Yeah, I think Pens, Rags would be a good place to start.
Yeah, I'd be down for that.
I'll try not to shit all over the Rags, but I'll try and keep unbiased, but...
I'm being biased as shit. Fuck the Rags.
Yeah, alright.
Yeah, I'm gonna be going against the Islanders anyway.
I'll be going against the Rags and the Kings.
All right. Is there anybody on the Rangers that's injured? So, like, I don't say, oh, Buddy's going to be a...
McDonough's injured.
Yeah,
That's the only one I knew.
McDonough's down.
Is it long-term?
I want to say day to day.
He's a game-time decision, I think.
You're just gonna end up getting pushed and getting hurt again, anyways.
He's made of glass.
All right, so you guys are totally prepared, right?
I'm as prepared as I ever will be, so let's go.
You fucking.
As I ever will be.
You ready for this shit?
Yeah.
Yep, wild card, bitches.
Someone's got all the stats ready.
Alrighty.
I don't.
The Rangers are in the playoffs, but the Devils aren't.
Shut the fuck up!
How about I cut your throat, you little shithead?
The Rangers are in the playoffs, the Devils aren't.
You like 3 teams. 1 out of 3 is in the playoffs.
Bitch.
So you can go bye-bye.
Bitch.
Colorado isn't in.
No, Colorado didn't make it. They were in the basement.
You don't know what's going on? Get the fuck out of here, little boy.
He's actually 15.
Get out.
Well, he sounds like a squeaker. I'm sorry.
His balls have dropped.
Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway.
Alrighty.
I'll pull the stats up.
All right, guys. McDonough is out for at least game 1.
Okay. So definitely game 1.
Yeah, Ryan McDonough won't start series versus Penguins.
Alrighty.
All right. I'm all ready to go.
I got the stats up.
Are we like ready now?
Ready to roll. I got the stats all set to go.
I'm all ready to go. Actually, no, dude, guys, I'll send a link into the group chat. It's all the injuries, so if you guys need to go back on it.
Oh, sweet.
So we're like ready now.
Yeah.
Like we are way more ready than we were 5 minutes ago.
We'll be more ready in 5-10 minutes too. So let's go. Hurry up.
Yep.
Almost time for the fucking game, anyways.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, puck drops at 7, right?
Alrighty, welcome to Ultimate Hockey News. We are going to talk about playoffs, and yeah, because it's a first episode shit, I'm already fucking not even know what to do, so I'm just gonna say what my name is. I'm Alex. And you guys are?
I'm Jacob.
Chaz.
Jacob, otherwise known as Tutu Train.
Jake?
Jake.
Mr. Laughs fan, where are you?
Oh, wow.
Oh, he's
Where'd
just
he
like
go?
his team in the postseason. Not there.
Alrighty,
I
alright.
think he went to the golf tournament.
Great start to the show. Oh shit! What the? Motherfucker. Well, I guess we'll get right into it. You know,
Hey,
and he's calling me.
I think he got disconnected.
I'm here.
Oh.
I don't know what the fuck happened.
So, what did you miss? Like, what was the last thing that you heard?
Playoffs?
Playoffs?
Honestly,
Playoffs?
honestly, I didn't even. I missed a. I don't even know if we started yet when I cut up.
Yeah, we kind of started,
Shit.
and then we were introducing ourselves, and then we were waiting on you, and there was nothing.
Kind of like his team in April.
Oh yeah, kind of like your team in April.
Same with you, Jacob.
You shut up.
At least my team is here in April.
Mine too.
As usual.
Alrighty, let's get into this motherfucker. We're gonna start out in the East. Which series you guys want to talk about first?
And drags.
Penguins Rangers.
All
I
right,
could do anything.
we're gonna go right into good shit right away. All right, I'm down for that. So, Pens Rags.
That's a toss up for me.
I got Pittsburgh in 6 games.
I have Pittsburgh in 6 games as well.
I got Pittsburgh in 6 games.
When I look at the top 20 scorers, points for the NHL in the season, I noticed 2 Penguins players and there are no Rangers players, so Pittsburgh's got more scoring ability there.
The only
Yeah.
leverage that
That was
better thing they have is Henrik. That's the only thing Rangers have leverage wise against the Penguins. Is
Yeah.
goaltending.
Yeah, Letang had 67 points and Crosby had 85 points. And let me find the highest scoring Ranger.
It's probably gonna be
Okay.
Rick now.
It's actually Matt Zuccarello. He had 61 points. He was 38th overall.
Yeah.
Well, one disadvantage that the Penguins have going into the series is the condition of Marc-Andre Fleury. The status is day to day, but as a goaltender, you want to be 100% going to a playoff series. That could affect you mentally, physically, and even if he's not 100%, they end up putting Matt Murray in against an experienced team like the Rangers, who's made to the Cup Finals and Conference Finals.
Ugh.
That's really dangerous. So I can see it going either way, but as of now, depending on the condition of Marc-Andre Fleury, I think the Rangers have it.
No, I think
Yeah,
that the Penguins defense is enough to be able to withhold it to help Fleury out, even if he is playing with injury.
Yeah, there were.
And then their offense is they're not going to keep the puck in their own zone that long. So I don't
Yeah,
think the
if I-
Rangers are even have time to
yeah.
score that
If
many.
I were the Penguins, I would because I play goalie a lot, and coming from a goalie's perspective, you never want to play hurt. But if it's in that kind of situation, I'd rather they put their backup in for the first game, and then when they know Fleury is 100%, then they can drop him back in there. Otherwise, he'll risk further injury, and then he's done for good.
And actually, the Pens defense is good enough where like they're not giving up too many shots. So
Exactly.
like even if you were to have Fleury in and he was still hurt, he wouldn't really have that hard of a time because he won't be going up against like a shit ton of shots.
Very true. Very true.
If it is the Rangers, they don't even usually get that many shots off.
They average like what, 20 shots, 25 shots a game.
Probably somewhere around there. There's probably somewhere around 20.
The Rangers are a team I'm not really sure of. Like, the Penguins are, I know, on a hot streak, but the Rangers, they're a team where they could do really well, or I don't know. I just have some doubt.
They either fly or they crash. There's no in between with those guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's for sure.
I mean, Pittsburgh, it's got a bit of a slight advantage with this, though, with having Carl Hagelin, who is
a former Ranger.
A former Ranger. He's pretty familiar with the Rangers system. I could see him doing like a lot of damage in this series.
Yeah, he practiced with Lundqvist. You must know his weak spots.
And actually, leading up to the end of the season, Lundqvist hasn't really played all that well. And I believe he got pulled
six times in the last 12 games, I think. He got pulled.
And then another interesting stat. This year and the previous 2 years, the Pittsburgh Penguins and New York Rangers have matched up in the playoffs, with New York winning both those series.
Yeah.
One was in 7, and one was in 5. So that's an interesting stat to keep in your head.
Yeah, and their supposed top guy, Rick Nash, he only had 36 points this year. And he's like their top dog right now.
Rick Nash, he's invisible. He's invisible in the playoffs.
He's 195th in the league in points. He is an invisible man. Like
you're telling me that I had him in fantasy. Did nothing for me.
Exactly.
Yeah, for the most part, he is invisible. When he does show up, though.
You know something's bad when Zdeno Chara has more points than you. Chara has more points than Nash.
Mm-hmm.
That is bad.
All right, guys. Who is one player on both teams that you should watch for in this series?
For Pittsburgh, you got to keep an eye on Evgeny Malkin.
He's out.
He's out.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's been on IR.
I'm gonna say Letang and Lundqvist.
For the Rangers, you gotta watch out for JT Miller. He's a bit of a dark horse, but seeing some of his highlights, he is a dangerous player. And for Pittsburgh, I'm thinking Hornqvist.
All right, for the Rangers, it's not just maybe one player, but it's 2 players. It's the goalies. That's for Pittsburgh, actually. I'll start with New York then. For New York, I'd say it's Derek Stepan. Like, every team needs a number 1 center, and if he is in top form, he can do a lot of damage. But one key to Rangers' success is for him to put up a decent amount of points. And for Pittsburgh, it's the goaltenders, because I don't know, whoever's starting has to be good. They have to be solid, whether it's Murray or Fleury.
In the playoffs, Fleury has a penchant for choking in the playoffs for the past couple of years.
Yeah,
he's been better. He's been better the last
couple of years.
But before 2014.
Yeah, the year before that was when Boston swept them, I believe.
I think part of the reason why we got as far as we did was because of Tomas Vokoun.
Yeah.
But yeah, for me, for Pittsburgh, I think everyone should keep an eye on Carl Hagelin, you know, former Rag. And then for the Rangers, yeah, Henrik Lundqvist.
Yeah, I'm going with the Penguins. I'm going with Letang just for the fact is if he shows up and plays and gets a couple of shots each off of each period, I think he'll end up having a couple of points.
Yeah, he might fire off a very good number of assists if he finds the right man.
I'm saying he might even get one up
Pot-
top too.
He might even pot a few himself.
I'm just saying I think it matters mostly if he shows up or not.
Yeah.
So I'm
So,
going with him and
oh,
Lundqvist.
so we're all agreeing for the most part that the Pens are going to win this series.
6 games.
Yeah,
Yep, 6.
I don't know. I could see it going either way.
Maybe a shutout or two thrown in there. Don't know.
I could see it going either way.
I'm not being biased or anything, but I do have Pens in 6.
Oh, I'm being majorly biased.
I mean, I'm being biased technically because I am an Islanders fan and I
I'm a
hate the
Devils fan.
Rags. I also hate the Penguins.
Yeah,
But
I hate the Rags, and I slightly have a disliking to the Penguins, but
I have hated the Penguins so much ever since 2011.
All right.
But
anyway.
You guys want to go on to
Yeah.
the next series?
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah, what do you got up
Alright.
next?
Alrighty. We got
I-
the Florida Panthers and the New York Islanders.
I was thinking we go to the West for this one.
Yeah, alternate
well.
conferences.
I think the most intriguing series to me, at least, is St. Louis Chicago.
Oh, that's the one. That's the one that everyone is probably going to talk about. Is the Blackhawks and the Blues.
and everybody's gonna hate my opinion on it.
All right. Well,
I have
you
the
can start if you
Blues.
want.
I have the Blues in 7.
I have the Blues in 6 or 7, but I
Because in
think the
save
Blues are gonna
percentage, Brian Elliott led the league with a .930, while on the other end, Corey Crawford led the league in shutouts.
Yeah, but Corey Crawford had a great defense in front of him with Keith.
Yeah, Brian Elliott also is tied for second in the league GAA with 2.07, tied with John Gibson behind Ben Bishop.
I have Chicago in this series because St. Louis has a reputation for not living up to expectations in the playoffs, and
Very
until
true.
they show change, I'm continuously going to go against them because against Chicago they can't win. It seems so.
Yeah, if they can't keep their offense in check, then they are going to get dominated. That's the downside.
Yeah, I remember that iconic goal from a year or two ago where it was Jonathan Toews in overtime versus Ryan Miller.
Oh, that thing! I had to take a shower after seeing that one.
That was a beautiful goal. Just tucked it.
Yeah, I got Hawks in 6.
I think I took Hawks in like 5 or something.
I went against Mike Brackett by saying Blues, but yeah.
I just
I have
the
the
Blues.
in my opinion.
It's just because I'm kind of tired of seeing the Blackhawks in it every year for the past couple of years now.
Well, I mean, I'm tired of the Blackhawks too. You know,
But
somebody
hey,
else could win the cup this year. But
yeah,
I mean,
come on. It's been past years. It's been what? Blackhawks, Kings, Blackhawks.
It's been Blackhawks, Kings, Blackhawks, Kings, Blackhawks.
no. It is Blackhawks, Bruins, Kings, Blackhawks, Kings, Blackhawks.
Yeah, I don't. recognize the Kings in that one.
But
The Western Conference dominated by Chicago and Los Angeles. And honestly, people have been saying that they're slowing down, and I really just don't see it because they've have so much talent. Like they got rid of Sharp and Sod in the offseason.
And they're
then-
still.
And then oh, look who they replace him with, Vlad and Panarin. Like they just pulled names out. They just pulled names out of thin air, and the goal. They do it every year.
Yeah, and Patrick Kane this year at 106 points. Don't know who. I can't remember whose line he was on this year. Was he with Taves?
No, he was with Panarin.
Ah,
wow, that sounds very intense.
what is going on over there?
So, from both teams, who should you guys watch for?
Blues, Tarasenko.
Of course.
For the Blues, it's definitely Brian Elliott because he's going to be a deciding factor if Blues can win this series or not. If Brian Elliott can maintain his regular season performance, the Blues will win the series. Because the reason I'm not picking the Blues is because playoff and regular season are they're way different animals. Like every year, I remember they almost won the President's Trophy last year and the year before that, and they lose first or second round. Like it's the same thing.
Yeah, just like the Sharks.
They like people keep making excuses why the Blues could win this year, but none of them has come true. And Elliott does somehow keep maintaining play. The Blues win the series. And one player to watch for the Chicago, I'm not going to name an obvious one, but like Patrick Kane, like obviously, but like for Chicago, it's definitely their depth. Like not just one player, just because it was a miracle they played Duncan Keith for like 35 minutes a night last year, and he didn't die after the game. So they have to be more responsible depth-wise.
They have to be more. Yeah, they have to be more conservative with playing time.
To keep their players fresh, and so Kane can score a goal here, Taves can score a goal, and then they won't be dead tired skating up and down the ice. So there definitely needs to be a huge factor for Chicago to win the series.
Yeah, for my player to watch for Chicago, I can't name a single player either. I'm going to just say the Chicago D. They need to keep their D strong if they want to pull this series out.
Yeah, for Chicago, I got Duncan Keith. I know he is gonna be serving that
Suspension?
That suspension.
One game it is?
Yeah, just one playoff game. So I think it was like a 6-game suspension, but
With 5 left, so one playoff game included.
yeah. So he's gonna be sitting out game 1, but he's gonna, I just have a feeling that he's gonna be really good like games, 2, 3, and 4.
He'll make up for his absence, definitely.
Oh yeah.
How? I don't know.
He'll be motivated. He'll be motivated to play better. He made a stupid move and let his emotions get the better of him, and he's
I have for the Hawks to watch. I say Panarin.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Because he's had a very productive year being on Patty's fucking line.
And who was that young defenseman they have, or that young kid they have? I think his name is like Hjalmarsson or something.
no, it's not here. Roomblad.
Bloomblad, yeah, you got to keep an eye on him too. I remember hearing Doc and Eddie Olczyk talking about him in the Cup Finals last year.
Was he sent down? I swear he was sent down.
I think he was sent down for AHL playoffs or something like that. But I checked and he's on their roster now. I could be wrong on this, but last time I checked their roster, he is on the NHL.
All right, let's say he's not playing. Who else do you need to watch for?
If his wife and his baby let him go, then Andrew Ladd.
Yeah, he could be a big factor. I see that.
And he'll have motivation to help to try and win that cup for his baby boy and his wife.
Yeah, I could see that.
All I need is motivation.
Alrighty. Any final comments on Chicago St. Louis?
Nope.
I have a
Just
feeling that
Chicago going down
I have
six.
one. Yeah, I have one comment that the Blues need to be careful with their defense because if they let too many shots get to Elliott, he's going to exhaust himself and they're going to find themselves out quickly. They need to be careful with their D.
Okay,
A goalie can only do so much.
I agree with that.
Hell, I wouldn't even think that Jake Allen would be that bad.
Yeah, when I saw him play when Martin Brodeur was signed with the Blues for that god-awful 7 games, the games he played, they were very impressive. I was impressed by his talent. He's still a little wet behind the ears, but I think he could be very productive if they throw him in. If Elliott gets exhausted.
Yeah, that's actually the one thing that the Blues have like an advantage in is with their goaltending. 'Cause they have options.
But
It's a 1A, 1B situation. It's not a backup and starter. It's a 1A, 1B.
But as history, as has been seen, what teams have won the cup by doing that?
And you have to notice that you have to note that Jake Allen has had 6 shutouts this year.
How much has Elliott got?
I have the leaders right here. Elliott is not in the top 10 for shutouts.
Okay.
Less than 4.
All right.
So if he has 3, then that means Allen had twice the shutouts.
All right.
All right. We're gonna move on to Islanders and Panthers.
Panthers in 7.
I have the same Panthers in 7.
God damn it! I got Panthers in 7 as well.
Well, we know who Jazz is going to pick.
Yeah, Islanders, and it's going to either go to 7 or it's going to be 6. I have it in Islanders in 6.
It's going to be a good series either way.
It is. I think
That'll be
this
the
will
highlight of the
be
round.
this will be the best series in the East.
Yeah.
Definitely. Most
Will be
definitely.
Good matchups.
And Yarmer Yager, where the hell did he come from with these points he's putting up?
Well, it's the
Did you
mullet.
guys know?
Dude, the offense, the Panthers' offense is good.
Where did that come from, too? They were out of the playoffs for 3-4 years in a row before this?
Yeah. Per
What?
60 minutes, Yaromir Yager has the most points per game. Points per 60 minutes.
That is impressive for someone who's 43?
44.
44.
44. You're younger
mullet
than my
and 18-year-old women.
You're younger than my
Better
dad.
than the
You know
fountain
what?
of youth.
I agree. That is his fountain of youth. When Yager scores off the ice, he scores on the ice.
Even more.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
Lord.
true. And that mullet helps out too.
What?
Panthers though, they got quite a handful of
What? What?
offensive weapons. They got Yager, they got Barkov, Huberto.
I would say Holtby.
Brayden Holtby?
Yeah.
What? We're going. What?
What
Sorry,
does Holtby
my-
have to do with Florida?
No, my brother's yelling questions at me, and I'm trying to get him to go away. Sorry, I'm gonna mute myself for a second so I can get him to be satisfied.
All right.
Okay, but I think what we have to look at for the Islanders might push them to actually get out the first round for the first time in a while is don't forget Okposo is playing for a contract, and so is Nielsen. So they're gonna push themselves even more just to make an impact on it, so that teams will offer them more money.
You think
You think-
Tavares is gonna fuck shit up?
I think Okposo's gonna have a
Back-
bigger series than Tavares.
And yeah, on that, I think Okposo could have the bigger impact than Tavares. But did I say his name wrong?
I don't know.
Is it
I said
Tavares?
the same way.
It's tomato, whatever. But yeah, I got my eye on Kyle Okposo for the Islanders. And for the Panthers, I got my eye on Jonathan Huberdeau.
No, for the Panthers, I'm watching Luongo because he has a habit of not making that good of a run in the playoffs.
No. Fuck
That was a Vancouver
You know
thing.
who we're gonna be watching? Ekblad.
I mean, yeah, but
Yes, yeah.
I think the series which will actually determine for the Panthers to actually do it is Luongo, as of his history in the playoffs.
He makes it far, and then he falls short. So
The one thing that Islanders have against them is Halak's out. That's
How
gonna
long
be
is he
huge
out?
for the whole series.
Yeah,
whole first round.
Oh,
but I feel confident in Grice.
Yeah, Thomas
With the
Greiss is a capable netminder. I'm not going to say great. I'm not going to say good, but he's very capable of holding his own in the net.
Yeah, I mean,
But
there's not.
but
He's. To
about
me,
that
I
may-
think he's better than Halak.
that may be so, but what playoff experience does he have? That's one part you have to question.
I think the only
Did he ever
experience
play-
he has is backing up Fleury a few years ago.
Yeah, that's what.
And does he have confidence in himself? And does his
Yeah.
teammates have confidence in him?
Yeah, that is the big question, the confidence factor.
Well, our
Hold on one
team
sec.
plays better when our defense plays better when he's in instead of Halak. At least they did during the regular season. Halak faced more shots than Grice, and
Yeah, the defense was laxed up when Halak was in the net.
yeah, they seems like the team gathers together and tries harder when Grice is in.
It's something I noticed. It's something I noticed a few years ago when it was Luongo, Schneider, Vancouver in their playoff run. When it was Luongo in the net, they were lax, but when Schneider was in the net, they let every shot go by them. It's like a similar situation here.
And then Hamonic will be back. So, and that's the best shot block. So,
Yeah.
and he has a nice.
I don't know how
ass
many
slap
block
shot.
shots he has, but I think he's leading the league in shot blocks.
Yeah.
And he has a nasty ass slap shot.
Yeah, he's got a cannon.
And then Boychuk too. They're gonna be firing from that blue line. So,
Yeah, you gotta keep an eye on Johnny Boychuk.
and then also don't forget Nick Leddy.
All right.
Hard not to.
Are we
And-
doing the impact player things?
It's also worth noting that Luongo had 4 shutouts this year. 4. And
How many did Grice have?
neither Grice nor Halak are in the top 10, so under 3 each.
All right.
One player I think from the Islanders that'll make a difference in the series is John Tavares because
Yeah, I agree.
he's
I don't.
their best player in the captain. So if
Captain have to lead by example.
they're
They
not
do.
like Washington, they don't have as much star power and depth. So if he's not producing and scoring goals or getting assists, I don't see him going very far.
But
And
that-
Florida, that my impact player would definitely be Aaron Ekblad because he's the future of their franchise. Honestly, I think he's going to be the best defenseman in the league in a couple of years.
Him and
He's-
Huberdeau are the future of the Panthers.
Yeah, but Ekblad's just that great two-way defender. And
Yeah, Huberdeau is my impact player for the Panthers. I wanted to say Yager, but I got to go with the youth movement.
Mhm.
okay, I just have one thing. You say the Islanders don't really have the depth, but I mean they don't have that great of depth, but they have a decent depth. I mean, we
Well-
have arguably the best fourth line in the league in Martin, Cizikas, and Clutterbuck.
Yeah, I will say that their fourth line is dominant in terms of fourth lines.
Because we have 2 players in the top 5. Martin leads in hits. Clutterbuck, I'm pretty sure, is in top 10 in hits, and Cizikas is just a monster with the puck. It's a line that most people don't want to go against.
Well, compared to teams like Washington, who have so much depth,
Yeah, going back
Right.
to Florida, they have another good goaltender in Al Montoya too, because he was fifth in the league in GAA with a 2.18. So if Luongo for some reason goes down, they have a dependable man behind him to go in.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna say for the impact, like to watch, there's not gonna be a single player. I'm gonna say it's gonna rely on the fourth line with
Yeah,
Morton, Clutterbuck, and
kind of like how
Stamkos.
the
It's gonna
Devils,
rely
kind
on-
of like how New Jersey did with CBGB back in 2012. That's what
And
I'm
then
noticing.
the Panthers, I say the impact player has to be Luongo. It all depends on how he shows up. If he
Right.
goes back and plays like he did in history, it's not going to end well, and we should be in the out. We should beat him in the first round. And if he plays terrible, we're going to beat him probably, maybe close to a sweep, probably in 5. If Luongo doesn't show up,
Mm-hmm. I gotta find the channel where the games are on. Did I get that already?
the Pens and Rags game is
Yeah,
on
yeah, it's like
USA here.
Pens, Rags, Bolts, Wings, and shit. There was a third game. I think Hawks, Blues.
Yeah, I think it is the Hawk
Yeah.
Blues.
So, any last thoughts on the series before we move on?
I'm all
Nope.
No,
Alrighty.
good. You guys want to do LA San Jose?
San Jose. Yep.
You know,
I'm taking.
this is a tough one for me to call.
Yeah, I'm on the. San Jose. It feels like they're a different team, but same thing with St. Louis. They got to prove it. Like, I have the Kings in 7 because I truly think the Sharks will be competitive this year. It'll be back and forth series, and they'll have the Kings on the ropes. But I could never count out the Kings. They've proven time and time again, like the Chicago Blackhawks, when you count them out and you think they're down,
I
they
have
come right back at you.
Yeah, I have San Jose in 7, but you have to listen to these stats here. Jonathan Quick season GAA was 2.22. Martin Jones right behind him with a 2.27.
Wow.
And Jones had 6 shutouts to Quick's 5.
I
Who-
also have the
Wait.
Sharks in 7.
Quick had a 40-win season, Jones had 37, so this is a tight goaltending battle here. I'm surprised with Jones' performance.
Who was Quick's backup last year?
Martin Jones.
Mm-hmm. That's one thing
So
you
he's
gotta
got
think of.
so he knows what makes the Kings tick, so to speak.
Yeah, but a few changes.
I got
one
the Kings in 5.
I think that San Jose's playoff bug is going to come to an end this year. I really want to see them make it through.
I want to.
Not
So Chaz, you think the series is going to be more one-sided in favor of the
I
Kings?
definitely do.
I think
It's
if they
playoff
put,
time. It's
It
quick.
will either be a ridiculous whitewash by the Kings or it'll be a tight series because it all depends who shows up.
I'm just saying y'all throwing up stats from the regular season and stuff. It's quick, and he is a playoff
points.
battle tested goalie.
Yeah, I just got personal matters with Quick, so
So
Yeah,
if Quick shows up like he has in almost every playoff series he's played in, I don't see it really going any further than 6 games. But I have the Kings in 5.
yeah, in my 7 games for the Sharks, I think we're gonna have a lot of overtime if both goalies are on their A game.
I think if the Sharks put in Reimer, they'll do better than with Jones. In the 8 games, when he's played with San Jose, he has 3 shutouts.
3 and 8, that is very impressive. I will give him that.
Yeah.
I guess what he needed was a change of scenery. No offense, Jake, but I guess Toronto wasn't for him.
I agree. I completely agree. He has proven that he is really, really good behind a defense.
Like when they traded Phaneuf, he was doing better than he was in Toronto. Not by much, but he was doing somewhat better.
Yeah.
And then
Just-
Kessel to Pittsburgh, A similar thing, kind of like how Schneider was in Vancouver. Comes here, he's blowing up.
Well, Pittsburgh hasn't done much with Kessel, so
Well,
He's been all right.
he's.
I mean,
he had.
also has
He's starting
stars around
to.
him.
I mean, he's heating up. He's heating up right now, but he's been all right.
He's a
I
streaky
was saying you're
player.
gonna get outshined and not do as well when you have players like Crosby, Malkin in front of you.
Yeah, but you should be able to score at least like 25, 30 goals. Like,
I'm looking at
What
Frank
line-
right now in the stats.
What line is Kessel on?
I think he's on the. Excuse me. I think he's on the second line right now.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure he's
Didn't
on
he
that.
start off on Crosby's line?
Yeah, they tried that, but then they moved him down with Malkin, and he had a lot better chemistry with Malkin, if I'm correct.
yes.
But I believe he doesn't even have 25 goals this year.
I'm looking for him right now.
I think he's at 30.
Do-do-do-do.
Where he
Well,
can hit.
from what I've seen, he has. No, never mind. Where is he? I must have missed him. Where the heck is he? I'm looking up his stats right now.
And how are we on Kessel now when we're talking about LA?
I don't. Oh no! You know what happened was
Oh god.
we were talking about Reimer, about
Talking
how
about change of scenery.
change of scenery is working out.
He has 26 goals, 33 assists for 59 points. That's okay.
I have San Jose in 7, not because like the Kings are not as good. I honestly believe this Sharks team is much improved than
They've
they
got
were
them-
before.
I might date myself with this, but with this saying, but they've got the moxie.
They do, but I still don't see the Kings, which is literally a battle-tested playoff team.
Yeah, for the Sharks, it's make or break. Because I have a feeling that if they don't make it through this year, they're going to go into rebuild mode.
I think honestly, I think it's gonna be like a tight, nasty series.
It'll be a hard-hitting series.
I don't think
Because this is an
close at all.
interstate rivalry we've got going on here.
Yeah. This series in Chicago, St. Louis are probably the two most interesting ones in the series.
In the West.
In the West, sorry. Actually, I would say in the entire playoffs, like the first round.
Nah,
We'll
I
see.
think in the first round it's got to be Islanders, Panthers, most at least for excitement.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's going to be some good series.
So, impactful players from both teams. Who do you got?
For San Jose, I gotta say Brent Burns. If he can keep his D game up and he can put as much points up as he has been doing, he can lead that D to good things.
I got a surprise. I'm
It's all in
going
It's all in the beard.
Thornton. I'm going Thornton.
Ah, good old Jumbo Joe.
Yeah, I'm going with Jumbo Joe as well. I think he's got it in him to do a bit of damage.
He's got the drive too. He wants that. He wants a cup. He wants to prove that he can do it. And he doesn't have that many years left. He's what, 34, 35 now?
He's up there.
He doesn't have that many years left. He's got to make the most of this.
Yeah, he's no Yager.
Yeah. For LA, I gotta say Drew Doughty.
I got a surprise for that one. Lucci.
Oh boy,
I'm back.
I genuinely forgot about Milan Lucic.
I'm going Lucic as the dude to watch on the Kings.
He'll provide a physical presence, that's for sure.
Yeah, and I mean he's not that bad with the puck either.
Yeah, he's a goon that can score. I think that's how Alex put it.
He is.
Yeah, definitely. It's Lucic, I think, because Lucic is a big body and he's been in a lot of playoff situations with the
either-
Bruins and like.
Yeah, it's either Doughty, Lucic, or Dustin Brown, and he lives about an hour away from me.
See,
I'm not kidding.
I could talk about I could talk about Anze
I-
Kopitar
I
or Drew
crashed.
Doughty.
I crashed his cup party in 2012.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I went there wearing a Devil Series and I just walked around.
I mean, I could talk about
Saw him at Taco
Jonathan
Bell,
Quick.
and I sneered at him.
Is crap.
Anyway, sorry about that.
I want to see what Lecavalier could do.
I forgot he was on LA too. That must mean he's either not doing well, or I just haven't been paying attention to the Western Conference as much as I should be.
I think from what I heard, he's been all right.
A lot better than he was doing in Filthy, from what I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he was producing more than he was in Philly. That or the environment was better for him. I'm not entirely sure. Because Philadelphia, if you don't produce, the crowd turns on you. They are a hostile environment to play in. They turn on you faster than a WWE crowd.
Yeah.
One minute you're John Cena. Next minute you're Roman Reigns. Depends on your playing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if I'm right,
I don't understand what you're talking about.
when he signed with Philly, they were cheering in. They were like, "Oh yeah, we got Lecavalier." Then in his last year, when he was like demoted and healthy scratch, they were booing him and they were like, get out of here. That's got to be damaging to a player's confidence. He must have wanted out.
I would too.
Yeah, and now getting sent to a perennial Stanley Cup contender year in, year out in LA, that's got to be a major boost.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm going to just go out and say, he went to a dynasty.
Mm.
They're as close to dynasty as we have, along with Chicago.
Not as good
as
Chicago.
Not as, but pretty up there.
It's crazy how we see not just one in Chicago. Charlotte and LA are pretty much modern day dynasties.
Yeah, they're like the Penguins of the mid '90s. Red Wings of the mid '90s.
Like there's
Islanders in
one.
the 80s.
Islanders of the '80s. Although after a while, a dynasty does get very, very boring. So that's why I hope there's a change of pace this year.
I agree.
I don't think a team in the West is going with the cup this year.
Yeah, I gotta agree there.
I mean, we got some really exciting teams in the East that are
a lot of surprises too.
The thing about the East, it's more of a wild card. You know what Chicago is. You know what LA is. You know what Anaheim is. You know what St. Louis is.
You know nothing about most of the teams in the Eastern Conference. Like Florida, they were doormats a year or two ago.
Like, you don't know if they're going to do well or do really bad.
Because they haven't been in the playoffs in so many years, we don't know how they do in the playoffs.
Exactly. And Pittsburgh's different every year. Some years they're just killing it. Then some years they
blow a tire in the first round.
Yeah. And then Rangers, usually pretty.
They either go far or sink, or they either go far or sink quick.
Mm. Yeah.
I'd rather prefer they sink quick. Ugh, I hated that final a few years ago.
Well, one thing I'm really interested in is what Washington's going to do.
We'll get to them later. I think we're done with LA, San Jose.
If you guys are done with them, we could actually go right into, Capitals Flyers.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Do it.
I have Capitals sweeping it.
I don't.
I got Capitals in 6.
I have Washington sweeping it.
Washington sweeping.
I don't think they'll be able to sweep them, to be honest. I don't think they're going to sweep the Flyers.
Philadelphia is going to do Philadelphia in this league. They are going to get under the skins of the Caps.
That's what they're going to do.
And we have to note that Mikhail Neuwirth is 10th in goalies for GAA with 2.27. And Holtby is a 2.20, so they're not very far. But Holtby's a beast in the playoffs, from what I understand.
He is.
I mean,
And Neuwirth has a higher save percentage than Holtby
in
does.
Philadelphia, I mean they're better in
I hate to say it,
goaltending
but
this year.
I hate to give anything to the Flyers.
Yeah.
Yeah. That Neuwirth has a higher save percentage than Holtby. 9.24 against a 9.22. Not a big difference, but still shows something.
I don't know.
Yeah,
and
but
neither of them had more than 3 shutouts.
not to go anything against Neuville, though, but Holtby has played a shit ton of games.
Yeah.
He played 66, I believe, this year.
Didn't he tie freaking Brodor's record?
Yeah.
They decided to play him in both games of that doubleheader, and he did tie Brodor's record. In fewer games, too, I understand. Brodor did it in 78 games, Holtby did it in 66. Gotta give credit where credit's due. That is amazing.
Yeah.
Records are
He
made to be
backpacked
broken.
that team.
You just hate to see it when it's your own guy whose record gets busted.
Well, at least it didn't get busted. It just got tied.
Yeah. I think he might actually break it in the next few years, but...
He probably will.
I think they should have gave him the chance to.
They should have.
Well, they
I
did play him in
understand.
both games of a back-to-back, so...
But they
no,
also
no, they
want
didn't.
the chance
I
of
thought they did.
the whole Flurry type situation.
He played the first game of that back-to-back, and that's when he tied it, but they decided to not play him that second game. And
Because he did it against the Blues. That was the first game. Oh, okay.
Yeah, wrestling for the playoffs, which they need him the most for. He knows that cup's more important than that record. You can't drink. You can't drink out of a record. You can drink out of the Stanley Cup. You can drink straight out of Lord Stanley.
Right.
Mhm.
Very true.
And
Plus-
would you rather
and not
say,
to knock Brodeur though, but
Watch yourself.
Holtby, tying that record in less games.
In
That's
12
that's
games less.
that's
12
that's
less.
I mean that's impressive. Like
That means he won more than 3/4 of the games he started, which is incredible.
to tie Brodeur record? That's pretty impressive.
It is. I mean, that's probably arguably the top goaltender of all time.
Mm-hmm.
He just tied his record for wins in a season.
Yeah.
That's something he can say for. That's something he'll always have with him.
Mm-hmm.
so, impactful players on both teams. Who you watching?
Gostisbehere on the fucking Flyers.
Yeah, I gotta say, for the Flyers, it's Ghost. It's Ghost. And on Washington, I'm gonna say Backstrom.
I'm going Oshie.
Backstrom or Oshie.
I'm going
on-
Because saying Ovechkin would just be expected.
Yeah.
On
I'm going.
Philadelphia, I'm gonna go with the Drew Voracek combo. Like before Voracek's contract, like that really well. And that's the reason he got the $8 million. And like he, don't get me wrong, he's not a bad player. He plays pretty good, but
Voracek?
in my opinion, yeah, he's alright. But I'm not sure if he's worth $8 million. But
He's more like a $5 million player.
yeah, I would give him 6. But he's got to produce in the playoffs. He like regular season. If you do bad in that, that's too bad. But he's got to produce in the playoffs with Claude Giroux, and they got to make good plays for Philadelphia to be a success.
Yeah, is their first line still Simmons, Giroux, Voracek?
I believe
Yeah,
so.
that is a very good line. I hate to say it, but yeah, if that line can produce, we won't see a sweep. But
And for Washington, I'm gonna go with Kuznetsov. Like Kuznetsov was the leading point scorer on Washington.
and how many points did he have?
77.
77, right. And
He's flew under the radar.
He
I
has
don't think.
6 more than Ovechkin,
Mhm.
7 more than
Nope.
Backstrom.
Who was talking about him? Like, I don't remember many people talking about Kuznetsov this
He
year.
had 57 assists to 20 goals, so he is a dish master.
People were talking about Ovechkin, Patrick Kane, all these guys, a lot like Braden Holtby, but nobody was mentioning Kuznetsov, who just suck up there, pass the puck every game, got assist here, assist there, goal here.
9th overall in points.
Yeah, he slid under the radar and he did extremely well. So he's gonna
I
keep
love under the radar players like that. I love under the radars.
he's gonna keep doing that, and it's gonna people are gonna start saying like, "Holy crap, he's actually the real deal." He's doing a lot of work for Washington.
And how old is he?
22 or 23.
Oh my God, he is one of the players of the future. I love this new generation we got, boys.
Mm-hmm. It's a cool one. It's a good one.
I'm excited for the future.
As a Leaf fan, I'm ecstatic.
As a Devils fan, I'm beyond excited. All these young dudes everyone's got. Ooh, doggy.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's topic
All
for
right.
another podcast right there.
Do you guys want to maybe take like a little break from playoff talk to talk about like other news around the league?
Sure.
He just wants to talk about the Leafs.
Yeah, I got that feeling too.
Well, I'll probably spew it up about Devils, but I do have a piece
All right.
of news coming from the Devils camp, though.
All right. Unless you're-
Eliash may or may not be done.
I don't know.
I think he's
Like
done.
if he hangs it up down, there's nothing wrong with that. If he comes back, there's nothing wrong with that. I can't
Yeah.
either way.
He's my favorite player, so I hope he comes back. But him being out for all but like 18 games, I think it's time for him to hang him up. He's got nothing left to prove. He's got every Devils offensive record pretty much. He's got the cups. He's got the awards. I think he's ready to hang him up, in my opinion.
All right.
That's a roster
Next.
spot for a young gun right there.
Next thing up on the non-playoff teams is the Maple Leafs signed Nazem Kadri and Morgan Riley to 6-year contracts today. Kadri's being worth an average annual value of $4.5 million, and Morgan Riley's is $5 million a year. What do you guys think of the deals?
Well, with Morgan Riley making that after a 36-point season, I think that's reasonable. He has the potential and the skill. And Kadri, that is a very smart lockup right there. He is a very great player, and I think as long as he stays healthy, they get some people around him, Toronto will be a contender in a few years. That's a smart move by Lou Lamoriello.
Okay, Bob. I don't know. It doesn't matter, Mom.
You might want to mute the phone, bro.
Sorry. All right. Sorry. Anyways,
Yeah, that was smart signings by Lamoriello, in my opinion.
I really like the signings. This like Kadri reminds me of not Brad Marchand, but like a Grady like buggy. He'll spug the hell out of you, but he could also score really good goals and dish the puck. He's extremely talented, and he's a really good agitator. That's what I like about him. He's not afraid to hit. He's not big, and I think that's a well-earned money.
Would you take him or Simmons?
Then, for Riley, that's an amazing deal. He's a really great player, and he's got the hands, he's got the skating, and he even shows leadership at this young age. And I think if he becomes a defenseman,
He's a future captain.
Yeah, for sure. Unless we somehow getting Stamkos, but we won't go into that.
You're not.
Let's not go into that. Anyways, but
Yeah, let's not.
Riley has a huge upside, and that could be even 3 years from now or 2 years from now, he could be an $8 million or $9 million player making $5 million. So I think Lou Lamoriello made an awesome deal by locking both these guys up long term at really good prices.
Trademark Lamoriello right there in my book.
hmm Like, and by doing that, you not only get good value, which makes them easier to trade down the road if you need to, and leaves more room for signings as well.
Right.
So, with us switching topics to this, does this mean we're gonna get this done before the playoffs start, or yeah?
Well, like, all right, we need, Alex would still need to like edit it and like
Oh, I know that. What I'm
uh,
talking about, so we can actually watch the game instead of.
Yeah, we need to not being an asshole about the little non-playoff talk, but we got 3 more series to go through.
And we have 12 minutes, about 15 minutes until the game starts.
And I mean, we should be able to get through them pretty quickly.
Shouldn't be
So,
a problem. That was a good little break.
oh yeah.
all right,
So
how many series do we need?
we got 3 more.
Three-
That'll count as our commercial.
Yeah. We're gonna talk about Stars Wild.
Stars and 5.
I got the Stars in 5 as well.
Stars sweeping because I had originally Stars in 5, but since Vanek and Prize are out for the first 2 games, it's a sweep.
And I don't see Devin Dubnik or Dubnik, however you pronounce his name, pulling a magical season of his ass like he did last year. I don't see him doing that again.
No chance.
He did have 5 shutouts this year. I will give him that.
He's a good goalie, but I'm not sure if he can be.
It
a
was
team
great. It was great to
so
see
much
him
off.
resurge from being that laughingstock he was in Edmonton, but I don't see him being the magician he was last year. I don't see
The
him
thing
doing
ab-
that.
The thing about Dallas that is a blessing and a curse at the same time. They are a high-scoring team, but they lend so many goals.
Yeah, their
Like-
defense is very, very porous.
I'll give you a stat. Kari Lettinen, I'm not sure which order, and Antti Niemi, I'm not sure which order they go in, but it doesn't really matter. One's 30th in the league for save percentage, I believe, and then the other one's 36th.
Yes, Lettinen is 30th, I believe.
Either way, that's pretty bad, especially since you were hoping to have a 1A and 1B starting combo going into the season. You have 2 guys that are at the bottom of the league.
I think that is the worst for starters, isn't it?
Yeah,
For
like
Lettinen. Given that a few years ago Lettinen was very good, I'm surprised at how low he fell.
but if Minnesota can't score, Dallas.
That's
You can
2 out of
count
their
on-
3 or 4 best players out right there.
Yeah, like if Dallas scores, they're good. Like, and I assume they will.
Sagan is healthy, correct?
I think he's game time.
Ah,
I'm
we still
not
got.
sure.
Oh man, I forgot his name now.
Like I'm
Ben.
not.
Ben.
Yeah, Jamie Benn.
He's the impact player for the Stars, definitely.
Like I'm
For
not
me,
even.
Going.
I'm not even too worried about their offense. I know Ben's gonna be good. Jason Spezza is
When
gonna
he's
be good.
healthy, Sagan.
Sagan.
The impact player was definitely John Klingberg.
That's who
Yeah.
I was gonna go
Oh,
with.
I
Is
forgot
Klingberg.
about him.
He is
Forgot about
the
him.
one
Klingberg.
bright spot in their defense.
If
He's
he
their-
could be a leader and step up, like Dallas will do well. Like he's a really good player, and even though like he doesn't really have much defense to play with, he is their guy for power play defense. Like he's on. I'm pretty sure he's on every single line: penalty kill, power play, you name it, he's on it.
Yes,
He
he's
is,
averaging 20-something minutes a game, I think.
yeah, and he's gonna be. I think he's gonna be averaging almost 30 in the playoffs or more.
He's going to be a tired man, but if they pull it together, it'll be worth it.
He'll be like Chicago's Duncan Keith was last season.
Yeah. And for Minnesota, my impact player will have to be Ryan Suter.
Yeah, I agree with that. Ryan Sears got to be a workhorse.
He's got to block him. He's got to check him. He's got to shoot him. He's got to do it all for that D.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, the fate of the Wild.
That's on their D.
It's gonna. But I don't think they'll do it. I think that the Stars' offense is going to be,
Smothering.
too overwhelming.
They're gonna fly right by him, in my opinion. But Minnesota could squeak one out.
That's
They
what
might-
I'm thinking.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
might
they will.
squeak one or two out
They'll
in
get one.
overtime, but otherwise it'll be a dominant Stars. Dang it.
I
agree.
got the
Alright.
Stars in 5, and
Yep.
I think Jordy is actually the impact. He's going to be the person to watch for the
Right.
Stars.
I agree there.
Guys, I think we should wrap this up. If anyone has any final thoughts, we have like 7 minutes until playoffs start.
We got 2 series left. We can do it in 7.
Let's get through these last 2 like super quick. We kind of go by. So the last series in the East, Detroit and Tampa Bay.
Detroit in 6.
That's an interesting one.
Tampa Bay in 7.
I have Detroit in 7.
I got Bolts in 5.
Why? Because you want to see Datsu keep playing?
What?
He said he's going back to Russia or whatever to play after the
Yeah,
season.
Datsu said he's done after the playoffs, and no matter what. Yeah, I got the Bolts in 7.
I got Detroit in 6.
I got Wings in 7.
I'm not very confident in the Wings.
I'm not confident in the Bolts without Stamkos.
Yeah, my impact player for the Bolts is Kucherov.
My impact players for the Bolts would definitely be Victor Hedman. He's got to be their captain pretty much, since Stamkos is out with the injury.
Out
Like,
until
he's got
probably the second round, after the second round even, if they make it through. So it's a month
Yeah,
he's out, I
for the-
believe.
for the playoffs. Like, Hedman has got to act as the Tampa Bay captain, because he's the closest thing to the captain they got right now since Stamkos is out. He's got to be a real leader, step up on and off the ice.
Very
and
true.
Get his team ready to win.
Maybe he can whip Drowan's ass into shape in terms of behaving.
Yeah. Maybe.
And for Detroit, my impact player is Nicholas Kronwall. If he can slam that body around, he'll shake the Lightning up and they won't be able to produce because they'll get scared.
I'm going Dots for the impact player for Detroit, just because it's his final run.
And they're going to be doing it for him. That's very, very true.
I'm going with the goaltending duo of Howard and Mrazek.
I don't know who they're going to have starting going in, though. I think they're going with Mrazek.
Mrazek's been way better than Howard.
I think
Yeah.
Mrazek's took. But for Detroit, I'm definitely taking Henrik Zetterberg. He's got to be.
He's a bit of a shadow of his former self, but he can still play very well.
He's got to be solid, just like Datsuk.
He's the captain.
They
He's
gotta
got to lead.
Also, but they gotta play well. They gotta be well.
All right, gonna have to move this on to the last series in the West, and that is Ducks and Predators. Who you got?
Ducks in 6.
Predators in 6.
I got Ducks in 5.
So I'm definitely the wild card here. Yeah, I'm going Predators in 6.
Yeah, my impact player for Anaheim is John Gibson. He was a wall in the season. If he can keep that up, he can carry the Ducks to the next round.
I don't know.
And
For
for
me,
the Preds, it's Shea Weber, unless Philip Forsberg is still there.
I'm going Yoshi. Yoshi.
I'm gonna for the Ducks. I think it's gonna be John Gibson, because he needs to play well. Like,
He's proven
He's-
himself in the season, that's for sure.
but playoffs, are a totally different thing. Like, so that's why teams like Florida are an unknown because you haven't seen them in playoff action. Like, are they ready or are they just built to collapse right now? Like,
Yeah, I think one thing the Ducks don't want to happen is for Gibson to be like Victor Fost, come out flying and then just sink. I really hope that doesn't happen because he has a lot of potential.
I think he's gonna live up to the hype. He's gonna. I'm not sure if they're gonna go far this year, but Gibson's definitely gonna get some valuable experience.
Yeah, he'll show his value definitely.
Yeah, and my impact player from the Predators, I think it's gonna be Pekka Rinne. Like he is the heart and soul of the team, in my opinion. Like
Yeah, very true. Him and Weber,
yeah,
they're both career Preds, aren't they?
Yeah, when Rinne is on point, like he could stop anything. Like he's a very good goaltender, and
He had 4 shutouts and 34 wins this past year.
he has playoff experience too. So
A lot of it.
he has all the tools to be successful in the playoffs. And if the Predators win the series, it's going to be because he was a main reason why.
If I can jump back to the Rangers series for a second, Alex, I'd like to point out that their backup Antti Ranta had a 2.24 GAA. So if he gets pulled Lundqvist, then this backup, he might come out of nowhere.
No,
That's my final thought. Watch out for Ranta.
I don't think he's gonna be live up to the hype for as he did in regular season as a backup to the
Right.
postseason playoffs. I don't think he's gonna have an impact at all.
He doesn't have any experience in the playoffs.
Yeah.
When Scott Darling takes her job away, something's up.
That's true enough.
All right.
I think this is going to be like one of those series, like, even though I had the Ducks in 5, it's not going to be one-sided. Like,
It'll be a tight scoring series.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Might see 1 or 2 overtimes.
Yeah.
I think one game will go to double overtime.
I have a feeling one game tonight will be in double overtime,
I really hope so. That's great hockey to watch.
or at least one overtime. So one game is going to go to overtime tonight.
I hope so.
All right. Any last thoughts?
I already gave mine.
I think I'm good.
All right. I think that's a show.
Alrighty.
So, all right.
Keep calm and hockey on, boys.
Keep calm, hockey on.